Hammer time.
Oh yeah, I just keep seeing the MC Hammer
Nice
doing
moves.
the little yeah.
Baggy pants.
Exactly right. Bring it back, and Wolverine is back.
Wow, this is quite the event for Marvel fans, because I remember in 2000 a family trip down to Santa Monica and X-Men came out. I said, we got to go see this. I got the whole family together. We sat down and there was a fresh-faced actor by the name of Hugh Jackman. No one had even heard of this guy, and he was playing the role of the iconic Wolverine. And then obviously 17 years later, the character has become such a huge part of the cinematic universe for comic book fans, and Hugh Jackman has become a massive star with all kinds of great roles. But this is the swan song I think that we've been waiting for. So it's a hard R, and in the movie it's set in the distant future. Well, not too distant future, but basically Wolverine has to care for a young girl who has similar powers to himself. And here's a look at that.
Hey, Mr. Monson. You understand you're trespassing right now, right?
I have an easement with the previous owner of your property.
Previous being the operative word. Who's this?
Just a guy telling you to get back in your nice truck.
Hey, Carl. It looks like Mr. Monson hired some muscle.
He's a friend of mine.
Friend with a big mouth.
I hear that a lot.
And you probably hear this, too.
More than I'd like.
And you know the drill. I'm gonna count to 3, and you're gonna start walking away.
I got rights to this one.
1.
I have a lawyer now.
2.
3.
You all right, boss?
You know the drill. In the real world,
Some familiar faces other than Hugh Jackman there as well.
Eric LaSalle in that clip, and it's got a great cast. I mean, Patrick Stewart returns as Professor X. You see Boyd Holbrook there. Many people may remember him from Narcos. And a young girl by the name of Daphne Keane, I mentioned her before. She is sensational. She's only about 11 or 12 years old, but she is kicking butt in this movie, I tell you. Also stars Richard E. Grant as the villain. The villains were a little tricky because they weren't really that well developed. They're kind of thin. That's one of the issues with these comic book movies. And there's sort of that awkward exposition that you always get because they have to jam so much into the story and give you all the backstory about the characters. So sometimes I thought there was a lot of conveniences with what they did with the plot. However, this is the most graphic comic book movie I think I've ever seen, and it's got a higher body count than Deadpool.
So when you use the term hard R, you mean that if you are squeamish at all, you're not someone who likes, excessive violence, this is not the movie for you, and err on the side of teens and stuff, I guess,
Totally.
right?
You do not want to take kids to this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rated R for a reason. It's got graphic violence, the likes of which I've never seen, and tons of coarse language peppered throughout. However, that provides an avenue for an exploration of these characters, which we never saw, because I always felt they were kind of pigeonholed, especially with Professor X. And Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman are able to give the best performances for these characters in this particular movie. It plays out like a beautiful, poetic sort of elegy. It's like a Western, and James Mangold is directing this one. He did the great 3:10 to Yuma remake, also did the previous Wolverine standalone movie, and he brings such a great visual style and moodiness to the movie. But I gotta tell you, it is stark, it's dark, it's downright depressing, but it kind of fits with what we want to see from the character, and I think where inevitably Wolverine would have ended up. Without giving anything away, I have to say, though, this is one of the most satisfying movies, if not the most satisfying, in the X-Men cinematic universe.
So one hammer, right? No, I'm just kidding. No.
A resounding 4 out of 5
Wow.
for Logan.
That is excellent, but again, a hard R. Okay, thank you so much,
this is one
Thor.
for the adults, okay?
Yes.